Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dice, Drinks, and Drama. I am your Dungeon Master this evening, John Heath Clark. Let's meet the rest of the cast.
Hello, guys and gals and everything. My name is Devren Bryant. I am playing Walker and Summer Ocasio-Cortez, and never returned to my princeliness because I wanted to run for local office, it turns out, and I can't wait to do so.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Zëk Stewart. I'm playing Euclid Clausen, a ASMR warlock. I'm wild magic warlock, which you can find on the Dungeon Masters Guild. I will post that link here so you can find it if you want to take a look at it. And I'm a patron to my former character, Skim, God of Delirium, in Veros. Okay.
Hi everybody, my name's Carter Scott Horton. I play a stout halfling, draconic origin sorcerer named Finnegan Berry Bramble, who last week got kidnapped by his dad because fathers.
I'm Vic Priano. I play Guinevere Grovehart, and last week I watched Finn get kidnapped by his father as a snake.
Druid.
As a snake.
All right, quick recap. We're in the city of Tecnatawatl in the country of Talion, which used to be the Green Dragon Empire before it was overthrown by a plucky group of heroes. And we are returning because Walker used to be enslaved here and was drawn back by a mysterious message that turned out to be from his old mentor, Stormseeker, who has recently tricked him into running for political office. It turns out that one of the other major powers in the city is a halfling mafia run by none other than Finnegan's father, Mr. Barry Bramble. And we haven't gotten his first name yet, that everyone is terrified of. But while all this is going on, Guinevere, who is a druid of dreams, has kept feeling strange pressures from the depths of the jungle, as though something is going on there that might be even worse than local politics. If possible. The first posters to go up were Walker for president. But now there are other presidential slogans going up. There's really only two people that anybody else is paying attention to. The first is a business as usual half-elf, whose name is Haliath Sungold. And Haliath was a house servant to Clan Kasaba that knew how all the politics in the city were run. And what he wants to do is get the city running again almost exactly as it was, except without all the green dragons and slavery. For people that have felt like they're in a chaotic situation, this is coming as a good call, even though obviously there's much to be done beyond merely recreating society in the image of a dragon dictatorship. The other group is a cult of personality, which is behind Denise DeMog, who is was a captain of the guard, gladiatorial pit fighter, who has now become a who has now become a force of personality. She believes that what there is to do is to become the strongest nation state this side of the world and start and terrify anybody into not attacking them. She believes that the Green Dragons are still a threat, and she is upping the threat of outside forces as part of her campaign. We should begin at Campaign Central with Walker and his friends figuring out if you guys want to be involved at all, or you just want to let Stormseeker run it. If you do, if there's something you'd like to accomplish, or if you want to go and do the other things. But first, let's have a brief moment of catching up, talking about current events, seeing each other, that kind of stuff.
Are we are we picking up exactly where we left off, or is this like a new day? We're not.
I was thinking this was a new day. Unless if you guys want to pick up exactly where you left off, we can go there. I thought of it as being like we had sort of completed that tavern scene. Yeah. And I think this is the next day. You've all rested. You're at the Gorgon's Gaze in that back room. Okay. Even waiting on Stormseeker, right? Discussing how you all want to go forward, regardless of what he comes in and says.
Okay. So there are, before anybody gets in here, anybody with ears like mine, there's some things I would like to discuss with you guys. So what do we all know about the Yanti?
The snake people.
Yes. Lizard people?
Maybe.
You say burn. Why burn?
Did you miss the first half of the word? Snake.
I see. And then there's
They're
the
smarter
people
than normal snakes. Burn them.
Yeah, but like they can't all be bad. I bet they're really good at track and field.
Would you like to tell us what happened with snakes?
So there might be some dealings with some of these people that is happening in the dark. And I'm not entirely sure it needs to be happening in the dark. If they are people of this place, and I'm thinking of being a leader of this place, then they are people that I need to be able to lead. Yes, I think. I don't know.
Why would you be leading snake people that want to kill and overtake this whole area?
No! Do they? I don't know. I don't know anything about the Yanti.
That's what we talked about when we first got here, that they were vicious and we were going to take them apart because they were doing magical spells that were going to attack us or something.
Yeah, but that can't be all of them. I assume some of them are I don't know, children.
Well, I mean, yeah, but weren't they all?
I didn't take you as somebody who liked children.
That's true. Do snakes have a hive
cats
mind?
love the kids.
No, they nest together and sort of hang out, right? But do they think the same way? I've never met many snakes that think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So it seems to me we don't know too much about these people. All right, I think I know what I have to do then.
Well, I know I don't like them.
All right. Storm Chaser's going to walk up, and he's going to say, "Oh, you're all waiting for me. I didn't know I was going to see more than simply Walker and Summer. How are you all? I feel like it's been a little while. A lot has happened since we last spoke."
About what happened when we last spoke. One, and don't get mad. I know you're going to be mad. I know you're going to be mad. Don't get mad. I know you're going to be mad. Don't get mad. They all know.
Angrier I get, but go on.
So they all know. So don't think you have to hide that from any of these people in here, because they all know. And two, I would like to have a talk with these leaders that you were talking to last night in public. I want to be publicly seen.
Feel that your campaign is working with the hated snake people cultists of the jungle.
Well, I just want to see if there are any way that we can come to terms with our differences and live on this land like we are all to be living,
You're thinking of being like a unity candidate, we're gonna be friendly with all of the people in these areas, talk about connecting with Huoinor and even the Yuan-Ti.
As opposed to
not working with the Yuan-Ti except in the shadows because they can help us. They are devious. They are manipulative. That's what they do. They infiltrate other societies, posing as other people, and then take control.
What?
Yeah.
Are you telling me this, the lizard conspiracy is true here?
Well,
There are lizard people infiltrating your government.
well, hopefully not.
This is
That
great. I love this.
usually just get bartenders and stuff like that, right? But they if they get to a position of like leadership like that, then it's very problematic.
I don't. They couldn't want to do anything more than take care of their people. Why don't we just become their people as well? I don't know. We can all be people.
Wait, were you saying that you want the lizard people to lead you?
Not lead, but like I don't know, maybe help. I mean, what's wrong with alliances?
Okay. Let's consider this for a moment. Now, we already have the help of the Yonti. That's already happened. I didn't want you to know about it because you didn't need to know about it. And but it's happening, right? Like the deals have already been made. You think that we should be open about this. And I respect, since your face is on all the banners, that you should have some say in that. I'm interested in what your companions think. Pause. So, my lovely people on the internet, our audience, you're going to be choosing in a few moments whether or not to openly reveal the Yonti collusion in getting this election. I want to hear from the rest of the cast, though, their opinions.
Oh, this is alright, Lars.
Well,
I think you do it. I think you're right. I think you should reveal it. Let everyone know. Tell everyone about it. You'll just want to see what happens.
I certainly wouldn't mind, like, maybe going over there and seeing what they're like first and trying to get a better understanding of their culture. It would definitely serve my like previous career.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should tell people if you don't want to get elected, because once they get into positions of power, all they're gonna do is like make everyone get sunburned, so their skin starts to peel and shed like them.
I like the way you think.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Audience, should they reveal or hide their work with the Yonti?
I would like to give a shout out to my favorite comment so far on Twitch, which is Damn Fine Cup of Streaming. Says openly revealing collusion has historically not affected the outcome, so why not?
So,
I mean,
It's great vote.
it doesn't really matter what you do anymore. You just wing it.
November 3rd. Please register.
Please vote.
Please vote.
oh yes, please.
Please.
Oh, please vote.
Please vote both in the election
And in this
coming
one.
up and in this thing happening right now, because we need your input. Okay, great. We've got to hide.
Okay,
Also,
Kelson.
What?
your friend disagrees with you, Dad. And he might be the only and therefore deciding vote.
And that's
Well,
A-okay,
also-
because we love our lurkers here.
We do love our lurkers.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, there they go.
Oh.
Snake.
Might be a little behind.
Ooh, we got 3 reveals coming in.
Had me at Merlot.
Oh, I heard had meat Merlot is how I read that. I'm like, what's meat Merlot?
No.
I can't whine about that screen name.
All right. I mean, I love it. Great. All right. It looks like the internet agrees with you. And we are welcoming our leaser, the overlords, according to Can Doom 6. So, great. So, Stormchasers is okay. I thought to keep it in the shadows, but if you want to reveal that we're working with Snake Cultists as part of this, like, outreach kind of thing, we can do that. You guys...
And I also don't know how we're working with them now. If you would like to shed some light on that, since I'm going to be shedding light on all of this.
Very good. Love it.
Oh, I like him too.
So, okay, well, they were going to be funneling us money, as one does. Banners aren't cheap. They were going to help quietly and make it look like you were accomplishing more than you were accomplishing, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe knives in the shadows against enemies, not our political enemies, our, like, Green Dragon enemies, right? And but if you want them openly working with us, I suppose we can do that. Now, what that's going to look like is probably immediately after your announcement, taking a diplomatic journey to the heart of the Yuan-Ti, where no one from this city has returned from alive.
And there's got to be a reason, eh?
They returned dead?
Sorry?
You said they didn't return alive. I just assumed then that they returned dead.
No, they don't return.
Oh.
I know that they're dead. They could be prisoners.
Or it could be so much fun that they just never want to leave.
That's
By the way,
likely because we're dealing with snake supremacists that want to make everybody else into snakes.
wait,
So you're making me feel like I should remain prejudiced towards the slithery belly taps.
how are they making other people into snakes?
You know, we don't know that. We don't know that they are. We know that they want to. So what we know about Yuan-Ti, right, historically, is they were once human, and they connected with their snake god Seth, which is Seth with 2 S's, and they used that to do something and made themselves what they believed a higher pinnacle of evolution, which is half snake, half humanoids. Now, they did that willingly. They're like, yo, Seth, make me snaky. And he did. There's reason to believe they're trying to do that in a way that is non-consensual.
Ah, I see. A cult. Well, I mean, like, it takes all people, you know?
Look, I actually don't think this is a
eat them.
I'm not going to eat them.
You got connections with Polynisos, you got connections with the Corsair Islands. We set you up, your Tabaxi, which means you're going to be good with the nation of Kuiper to our north, and with Huoi Nor to the northwest. Like, you've all between your connections there's a lot to say for a trade relations, multinationalistic unity, right? And people love you. You're already winning. We just need to not screw it up, right?
What we need? Yes.
What are we pointing at?
Yeah. I have connections that could probably fix. I mean, it's just as like we should keep it hush hush situation, but we could definitely pay for banners, and we don't have to worry about like an accidental genocide. Probably.
See, and this is why you're my first mate.
When did genocide come up?
Well, I feel like if you're losing your identity as a human and you become a snake, it's like a kind of death.
I don't think any of us are human.
Right?
I'm not. I'm already a cat. I'm not becoming a snake.
So, and look, here's the thing. The Yuan-Ti I'm working with don't want endless battle, and they had a deal with the Green Dragons. They are not looking for an enemy to their south, right? They live in the jungle to the north, right? So they really were just looking for somebody they could be certain wasn't going to be doing some sort of inquisition or crusade against them, right? And that's really all I promised them was like, Walker and Summer will not lead attacks against you.
Oh.
Right? That's all these diplomats I talked to wanted. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get more stuff, right? Which is why I think if you're going to be open about this, you gotta go to their grand temple in that nobody's gone to in return, right? So we'll make an announcement. I've mostly been giving your speeches as you, arcane trickster disguise self stuff. But if you'd like to, since you're here, you could give that speech.
Yes.
Guinevere, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, is there anything that you perhaps haven't told us that you've been telling the public that you might want to inform us of right now, acting as Walker and Summer?
Make insight checks with disadvantage.
All of us?
All of you.
Ready? Oh! I'm just gonna show you this. Hold on. Can you see that? Hold on.
No.
Can you see them?
20s?
Yes, it's 2 20s. One, and then 2.
Oh, that's
I got
fun.
a 12.
All right.
But 20 is great.
We'll see if you have a way to do this.
I also got a 12.
Guinevere said something in a very particular order I want to point out. Guinevere said, is there something you're not telling us, pause, about what you're saying to the public? And the journey you see Storm Chaser go through is, he is concerned when you ask if there's something he's not telling you, and relieved when you ask if there's something he's not telling you about what he's saying to the public. Oh no, they've all the speeches have been written down. They have made sure that you are everything is very clear. You can read them, and your precept was just everybody likes me, I should be president. It's really, you haven't said anything. Policy or positions or any of that stuff right now. You're sort of creating that. This unity government thing is great.
I'm gonna go hit the loo real quick. You guys keep talking, and I'm gonna step out of the room, and I'm going to go off into a corner and cast Detect Thoughts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Detect Thoughts doesn't require line of sight?
I will go back into the room afterward, but I just need to cast it. For the duration, you can make thoughts for a certain creature.
Surface thoughts are to the effect of, you know what, this is going great. I would have preferred to not have them know about the Yonti, but maybe this can come to our advantage. And look, Walker's even coming up with policy ideas. That wasn't something I thought was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So he is not thinking anymore about the thing he was worried about Gwen asking about.
So Gwen's gonna just lean in with one hand and cast Charm Person. Be like, So is there anything you'd really like to tell us about, what you're keeping from us, from yourself?
Feel your spell wash over him and fail.
Oh. Okay.
And he looks at you and he says, I admire any tool, really any tool, but mind manipulation amongst friends?
Yeah.
What's he thinking at this moment?
What is he thinking at this moment? This is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
What is he thinking at this moment? It's wow, what? Really? Oh, I gotta hold this in. I gotta hold right. I can't say anything mean. I can't believe they do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But he.
A real good lockdown.
So it's fine. You want to know what you had a question. I got distracted by the fact that you tried to, get in my brain. Your question was, what am I hiding from you, right? Well, you're not wrong to ask. And the short version is, one of the reasons we need the Yonti is we lost our primary financial backer, which was the Barry Bramble crime family.
Oh, come on. What was that?
Now, look, politics and crime, they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, right?
How'd you lose it?
Oh, how do we lose them?
Yeah.
By the fact that the person who makes the decisions didn't realize that his son was on this team, and he doesn't like his son.
I don't like him. So
Fair, I guess.
that's all I have to contribute.
And right now, the two other candidates, Demog and Sungold, are quietly vying for Barry Bramble's support. Right?
Yes.
Can you only magically look like other Tabaxi?
Oh no, I can look like it's got to be about my size, but yeah, I can look like I'm not gonna look like a hableting is what I almost said, a halfling.
All right. Okay. Never mind then. Damn.
But,
Wait, I can.
Oh, what?
I can
a
disguise
little bit of
myself.
makeup. You'd be a dead ringer for your dad. Not that most people know what he looks like, because he tends to murder people that have seen him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could. I mean, that's just saying, we could kind of mess with your political enemies by pretending to back both of them as my dad and then have my dad be like, I didn't back you.
I love that. That's a little game to play.
I'm just going to bring up that height discrepancy.
We're not going to do that, but I love that.
Let's talk about what today should look like.
Yeah, we'll put it in the pocket.
There needs to be a Walker in Summer speech in the town square. That has to happen. It doesn't have to be you. It just needs to be somebody giving the speech. Then you need to be the go-getter, go-doer candidate and go get and or do something, right? Now that could be one of the other Green Dragon holdouts that we mentioned before, right? Or it could be going to the Yuan-Ti, right? But those are the steps 1 and steps 2, right? Step 1, talk the talk. Step 2, walkie walk. Cool?
Let's see. I can't decide if I want Walker to accept talking or...
If only we had a way to make decisions.
I know, right? It sucks that there's no other... Wait.
Do you want me to talk to Bori? I mean, I can't look like you, but I can pretend.
I
don't know how well these cats
Devren's
can see.
intention was to have the audience decide whether or not Devren should give the speech.
Absolutely, I'm just still talking in character though, that's fine.
I know, I'm just trying to be clear for our lovely audience. Lovely audience, should Walker and Summer give his own speech or give it over to Storm Chasers so they can go out and do stuff?
Part of me is like, yeah, you got it. I trust you to do it well. I mean, like, you're going to do it well. You have to do it well.
No, I mean, people understand me, right? So as long as I got that.
But also, like, I could give a speech.
How well can cats see?
Rai says, do it yourself and cool ooh.
Ooh, that's true. Ooh, is true.
All right, we got 2 for Walker.
Wait, I still
Delegate!
Delegate.
I won't talk about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I love delegating. You talk, you talk.
How well can cats
Heard
see?
ooh give the speech. I feel like
How well can cats see? I want to know. Can I see during the day?
Why is it relevant?
I just want to know if I need to pretend to be I don't know, a cat or something. If I'll notice it. Is it
So how would you pretend not to see during the day? Like, what's the distinction that you would?
Oh no, I
choose?
don't know if they people see me as well. I know at night they have great vision or whatever. I wasn't sure if during the day they should be wearing cat glasses or something.
we're gonna call it with
They should
Walker.
have visors.
You're giving a speech.
Oh, ha 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 ha! Look at that.
All right, so you're brought out to the town square. There are hundreds of people out here. You're standing on what was once the punishment dais, where they would stand and cry out the punishments so everyone would know. There's still blood stains on the cobbles. This is where the headsman would chop off the heads, but now it's the best spot for public speaking. You were actually once sentenced to harder labor than normal on this very spot. due to a nasty Ragthroknar guard. So it's strange for you to be giving a speech from a position of political power here on this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Why don't you choose 3 different statements to make, and we can let our audience give you ideas if you'd like, or your friends can give you ideas about what things you should say to the populace. Does that make sense? So that's how to structure the speech, is be like, there's 3 things I want to say.
All right, let's see.
What are you all thinking initially while we wait for the audience to give suggestions as well?
Well, you know, since my dad is A, a prick, and B, already pulled funding, I think you should be hard on crime. That's a general thing that people are fans of.
I might have said many things in the past, but in a new change of light, a lot of those opinions have evolved in order to redact anything he might have said that he's holding it to himself.
Oh, for what it's worth, with your insight, you're pretty clear. Anything he is straightforward about what he said in public.
Okay.
I tried to make that clear, and I apparently
But
didn't.
it is also making sure that Walker has more control moving forward in case people disagreed with some of the policies earlier stated.
Great. Totally fine advice to give. I just wanted to make sure. I was worried that my earlier statement wasn't good. Great.
Repairing as well as remedying.
Ooh, yes.
People like free stuff.
We'll do like free stuff, yes.
Free stuff.
Free.
Yeah, democratic socialism. Ooh, woo.
Ooh. Ooh. And
So if we just got new funding, we don't really know if we can allocate those funds as liberally as we could before with your family.
Well, yeah,
though.
so you gotta do something cheap. Something like
Healthcare?
cake. Cake is
Oh.
cheap.
No, wait, no. Well, maybe.
there's a lot of flour around.
What about
Many
pie?
people have dietary restrictions, though.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's
I just
see.
thought bread might be expensive, so I was like, you could have them eat cake.
We're gonna unpack that another day.
Mine is 6 intelligence.
No.
Carter made this joke on purpose.
All right, we've got democratic socialism, work on ensuring food security and affordable housing, and healthcare for all. As,
I didn't know we're all Bernie bros.
even in a fantasy universe, it's hard to imagine healthcare for all actually happening.
Okay. So I think I have something.
Great.
So Walker, he takes a very deep breath and he walks onto the podium. He is very long and lean and slender, and he looks very good behind the podium. What does the podium look like? This is important.
I wasn't imagining a podium. I was imagining a dais, like an elevated stone circular platform that would be used for executions and announcements. If you like a podium, you can have a podium.
Somebody make a podium. I assume somebody made a podium for the
For a podium, you get a podium. So you got a lovely little, let's say, jungle wood podium etched with, it's made specially for you, so it's got your campaign symbol on it.
Ooh, this is a nice podium.
And I feel like your campaign slogan needs to have UWU, perhaps, as it's considering how much everybody wants that. Unity, wealth, and
Us for you.
us with you.
Us with you.
Us with you.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh, woo.
Because it's us,
I hate us
and we're with you.
so much.
All right. So that means that your campaign slogan is us with you. Ooh, woo.
Ooh, woo.
Great. So you come up and the crowd is going crazy. People are waving little signs that say Walker for president. Others, ooh, 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 ooh. The crowd cheers, ooh, 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 as you come in.
Quiet, please. Everyone quiet. Yes, everyone quiet. Thank you. I remember being here long ago. This is where many of you know where this was. Many of you out there today are here because you were strong enough to survive. Many of you are here because you were strong enough to accept the help of those around you. Many of you are here because you are strong enough to not only fight back, but survive. And many of you know exactly how to weave together a secure enough net to not only make sure you survive, but the ones that you love survive. Because what's the point, huh? What would have been the point if you survived and she didn't, eh? What would have been the point? My friends, I am talking about unity. My friends, I am talking about togetherness because it is what we need in order to survive anything. And we are here today because we were strong enough to unify. There are people out in the jungle who have helped us without me even knowing that they were helping us, backing us with funds, doing other, deeds whenever we needed. And those people don't even consider us their family, and those people are the Yanti. I believe that the gasps, that's what I wanted.
They when you say positive words about the Yanti, the boogeymen of the boogeymen of the jungle, they don't even know what to do. You're losing them a little bit. Make a persuasion check for me, actually.
Can I give the help action by pointing, casting message, and in Summer's mind, he hears, "You got this. You got this."
Great. Yes, you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
You got this.
Well then, 19.
19. So the crowd is prejudiced against what you're saying, but still listening to you. Your next words may be the most important words of the speech / your political career, because they will make or break you.
And how can we trust the shadowy people? How can we trust those who work in darkness, those who work in shadows? Well, I wonder, how did we get here? Was it through the light that we strived, or was it through the dark? I am here because I want to bring darkness into light. And sometimes we can't do that without bringing light into darkness. But I know that you cannot just trust words. I know that you have to also trust action, which is why I am going to go to the Yanti, temple?
Yes.
Yanti temple, and I'm going to have a word with their leaders, and I'm going to bring the dark into the light.
All right. Persuasion check, advantage. To see how they feel about all that. Advantage
20.
Words not due to Carter helping. What did you say?
I said 20.
Great.
Not.
So the crowd goes crazy. One of the things they love about you is you're active, right? You're out there going out there, and even the people in the crowd that don't like you go crazy. Why? Because this means they're down to their candidate. Because you're going to the temple of the Yuan-Ti, you won't be returning, so their candidate's going to win. At least not have you to go against. So, yes, everybody's going, Captain wins! Captain wins! Woo!
Now, I will not be leaving you alone. In my stead, what is your name? Stormseeker. Yes, come up here. Come up here, you.
Chaser, right?
What did I name? Wait, time out. I wrote it down. Calm down. Calm down. Wait, time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Stormseeker.
Oh, I'm just wrong.
Okay, yeah. In my stead, Stormseeker will act on my behest, doing whatever you need. If you need Walker, you come to Storm and you will get whatever you need. Okay? Okay.
Stormseeker comes up in his natural form and waves.
See, and now you don't have to be me in order to do things.
Go on.
Well played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cthulhu. Yes, it's all right. Awesome. Great. The crowd goes wild, and you're going to make your way into the jungle. Yeah?
Wait, all of us?
I believe that is the. You're not going to abandon your friend to the.
No.
See, are you?
I mean, I'm not going to force all of you to come.
No, I'm first mate.
Oh,
I'm
great.
going where you're going.
Oh, well, actually, you were obligated to come contractually anyway. But thank you so much for. Not that you were.
Did you ask me to sign something when I was drunk?
What? There's
John?
papers somewhere.
Like that. Maybe you should
JHC,
be a politician.
I have a very quick question. Is there any possibility that I could bring a book on their language?
Absolutely.
Because just a reminder, I have the anthropologist background. So
absolutely. They will speak basic. Not basic, that's Star Wars. Common.
I figured as much.
Yep. So we can you can have a book, yeah. And as an anthropologist, you're going to be having access to a culture that people don't have access to, right? So this is probably very exciting for you. Yes.
Look at that. And then we got a little crazy guy coming too. Love it.
So you're going to be beginning this journey. You're meeting outside the gates of the city a Yuan-Ti guide. And they're going to be leading you to the temple.
What's the Yuan-Ti's guide name?
His name is Rosanov.
Rosanov.
I'm gonna need that in the chat for my notes.
RAS''SINATH. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Gracias.
Rosanov. Is that the main villain of Huntic?
If it is, I wouldn't know. I just there's some snaky sounding syllables.
Yeah, that's some real I almost just called it slither tongue, parcel tongue.
Parcel tongue.
I tried to make it feel snaky, you know?
The sneaky vibe.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Walker and Summer.
Sorry, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
Any other stuff anybody wants to do before we leave the city?
Let's see.
No.
I'm gonna go up to what is his name? Cracking Shot. I want to talk to.
Great. You want to go back to Cracking Shot on the boat? Sure.
Yes. You. How good of a spy are you?
Good. Spy. For those of us who have not been here before, Cracking Shot is a Kenku who they style themselves as a parrot, and they are an excellent what's the word I'm looking for? Pirate, first mate, also spy, and yes.
Also spy. Great. Lovely. Wonderful. So listen to this. You are going to do a job for me. It's the first job that you're going to have on this ship, so I hope you do it well.
Do it well.
Oh, good. You are going to spy on... Oh, I don't remember his name anymore because you questioned it.
Stormseeker.
Stormseeker. Yes, you are going to look...
Spy on Stormseeker?
Oh, yes, spy on Stormseeker, but on the low, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, just if you see him doing anything that you just, shouldn't be doing, basically tell me everything he's doing, okay? Okay. Do it well. This is your last chance to impress me and the rest of the ship crewmen. Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
They look at you very strangely, and for once don't repeat you. They just give you eyes, like, what?
And I'm done.
Great. Anybody else have anything they want to do in or around the city before leaving?
Oh, I have a whole pile of scales and the like. We'll turn it into something if we have the chance, right?
A whole pile of what?
Scales. We have all those dragon scales and stuff, and bones. Yeah. I need armor because I am very weak. I don't know if it'll work with light armor if I get it turned into something. Is that possible?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Let's get you studded leather armor +1, resistant to poison.
Okay. Cool.
Is what they're able to make, but that's going to use up all of the scales, leaving you just claws and fangs.
Cool.
Cool?
Yep. So it's +2, right?
No. It's a base of 13 plus dex.
Sweet.
Would be studded leather +1.
Cool. 13, and then poison resistance. Awesome, thank you.
Great. And it's very nice. It's elegant. It will make any green dragons target and murder you first.
That was ready to happen anyway. So nothing's changed.
I just any. It will make sure to hide it if you ever try to be diplomatic with green dragons. Right?
Yeah.
Great. Anybody else have something they want to do in the city? It's okay if the answer is no. I just want to make sure. Right. So, you leave, and as you get outside the sight line of the jungle, you were told to just walk along this path, right? There's a hissing sound, and a large figure drops down. This figure, if it stood from tail to head, would be something like 12 feet tall, but instead its tail drapes out behind it by about like 6 feet, and it is about human size in front of you. It is the torso of a human, the head of a human, the lower body of a snake, and arms that are nothing but a writhing mass of snakes. Maybe 10 each arm that come out to the regular length. That's right.
Like would you call it a centaur?
No. God, no. Why?
What if you want to get punched in the face?
I'm the worst. I'll stop.
It's
can
actually
can I use my inspiration to give him disadvantage on the next roll?
His arms are literally made of snakes. He does have a bow on his back, which for a moment you question how he can use. But he says, the president incoming, yes?
Oh, great. I'm glad you heard of me. I'm, yes, Walker and Summer. This is my crew, motley as it is.
He looks around and says, I was not aware there would be others.
Well, then you've got information that I didn't have. I have information that you hadn't have. It's a thing. That's why we are going to have conversation so that we all are on the same page with information. You know.
A persuasion check to see how much he likes your particular brand of nonsense.
That is 21. I keep rolling one higher.
So he stops and says, your ways are strange, but I do not dislike them. It is a long journey. We will avoid the worst parts of the jungle, but there is something you must agree to now.
Okay, and what could that be?
No mammalians have walked into the Grand Temple and know the way in. You will be blindfolded once we reach near the temple, and you will be lost in the forest, so you do not know the way out or back to it. The blindfolds will be removed when you stand in front of the great statue of Seth.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing, but I would like to know, like, generally speaking, how much distance would we be blindfolded for? Is this like a 100-yard situation, a mile situation?
We do not discuss the length of distance. The length of time shall be 2 hours.
Oh, that's overly cautious in my opinion, but I do not disagree.
2 hours?
He looks at you and says, though you do not frighten me, little one, people of your sort have been problematic for my people.
What do you mean people of my sort?
Adventurers.
Oh. Alright, that's understandable.
They hear of our great treasures, our holy relics, our rituals, and think that it is a worthy place to go spelunking.
Well, that is not why we are here, yes. No one's spelunking and anyone's lunking, yes.
Trust that you will not give directions to others.
I don't even know how I got out of this city. Yeah, you're good with me.
Great. So it's a many-day journey, but part of it is Rosanov is actually a great hunter, and he keeps while you guys set up camps over the course of several days, he'll come back with like crocodiles or anacondas, various large, usually reptiles, and cook them in Yonti style. Creates 2 sets. One of them is for him, and the others are for you. And when asked, he goes, "It's terribly spicy." Who wants? The first few days, he abjectly refuses. But as you're getting closer, and I imagine several of you asked several times, he's willing to make a larger batch of the spiced alligator. But he warns you that he does not know what effect it will have on your weak mammalian constitutions.
May I try the spice, but not the alligator?
Sure. When you ask that, he is going to take whatever it is that you're eating. Maybe he's also been collecting, like, vegetables and stuff. He's got, like, a kale or something. He's going to take a desiccated, dead adder snake, squeeze its head, and cause venom to drip out onto the kale.
Oh, I'll definitely eat it.
Great. Are any of you not trying the highly spicy, poisonous food?
Is it poisonous?
Yonti are immune to poison. So
yeah,
they,
I mean, like,
Resistant.
I'm a halfling.
yeah, they indeed will, they spice their food with what would otherwise be deadly poisons.
Ha.
I'll try it.
Because they're completely immune. All right, so that's a yes from everybody so far but Walker.
It's the first time Walker would not eat something.
I'm like, y'all are resistant to poison, and I am not. No. Oh,
No,
I
don't do
want
it.
to, though. I want to. I'm not going to eat it, though. Well, I don't know. He said he didn't want me.
All right, you know what? Today has been a day of indecision for Walker and Summer and Devren, which means it's a day of decision for you, my lovely audience. Should Walker eat the poisoned meat?
It's spicy. Oh, and it's alligator. Oh my god, ain't nothing like some alligator.
You're already eating some alligator, right? You've been eating alligator and snake and such this whole time, right?
Hey. Yeah.
This would just be the first time trying it the way they eat it.
Like,
I feel like I've gotta try it. Like it's a diplomatic thing.
Like chewy like reindeer.
What have you eaten reindeer?
Eat the spice that's necessary for great travel.
Yes.
I like that.
Come on. Anthony Bourdain wants you to try the spicy alligator.
Yeah, like, right, like...
That is like you have to do it when you say something like that, Carter.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate peer pressure
Do
button.
Rest in peace. What a wonderful man.
Fantasy Anthony Bourdain is really like in your mind.
Being like, eat the meat, and I'm like, yeah, I should.
Yeah, verily, eat the meat. That's my fantasy Anthony Bourdain.
Nice.
That's my fantasy Anthony Bourdain.
All right, DC 15 Constitution saves. Those of you with poison resistance will get advantage on this.
Ooh. Con saves, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Con save?
Con save.
Save, I'm at 16.
Sorry?
18.
How did Euclid and Walker do? I missed those.
I got a 19.
I had a spinning die for a second. Sorry, that was a 15. 15 plus
Great.
2. But yeah.
So, all of you eat this poison. And it is the spiciest. It's sour and spicy. And overwhelming. Like, overwhelmingly flavorful. Right? Delicious, but all of you, regardless, end up with upset stomachs. And your next day is bowelly unpleasant, and that's as far as I'll get. We've had a lot of stomach problems over the last few days. Yeah. What are you saying, Carter?
Well, is this in any way compounded by the gastrointestinal problems Finnegan is already having because
yes,
he ate
you
a
still
green
got.
dragon heart?
No, you got rid of them both, didn't you?
No, I've been holding on to one.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, if you have a miserable day, the good news is he slithers out and gets after seeing your misery, he actually like stops midday and basically says, "Your bowels, evacuate them. I shall return." And which is very straightforward.
Love him.
Of herbs that he bakes into a bread over the course of hours while you
deal with it.
Deal with it. And you all
get an oven.
non-like bread that tastes of cilantro. You feel much better after the fact. He's fed you an antivenom. None of you are poisoned, but it's enough to settle your tummies, right?
All right.
Says the others will hear of this. You are brave and friendly and stupid, and they will know.
We like him. We like him so much. He is kind of...
All
But he
right.
is brave. I love him.
He does seem and stupid, actually. Why don't you guys make insight checks?
Sure.
Guess you got a 5.
That's 9.
16.
I can no longer.
10.
16's our best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
These dice
very
are on
hard
fire.
to read his emotions and facial expressions and everything. Even though he's a human face, he's grown up among snakes, and so sometimes his eyes bulge weirdly or his tongue slithers out when he's talking. But you pick up on it. The and stupid was endearing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He felt comfortable enough with you to insult you.
Yeah. Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was meant as, and though it came across, he's as much as he talks straightforwardly, there's context and cultural cues you're not picking up. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
That you just sort of picked up in that moment.
I mean, Finn's got the baseline wisdom to know he is an idiot. You know,
It's all we can ask for, ever.
so that's a dangerous person.
You know what? You're right, too.
It is.
So, it is another few days. It's been about 5 days since you left through the jungle. You automatically, Gwyn, know the way back from here, right? But at this point, he stops and says, "There are others." And slithering out is another humanoid figure with a snake torso, just as long. And she says, "I am Persephone, head nightmare speaker."
I bow. Hello.
I'm sorry, that was head nightmare. What?
Speaker.
Curious.
Cool.
I am our connection with the land of dreams in this city. My job, misdirect, beguile, and befuddle you. And she then pulls from a sack 4 blindfolds.
Ah, the blindfold. We were told about this, yes. We were told.
I've been dreaming about this for 5 days.
I just want to confirm, are you snake people of the Dreamlands?
We have been to the lands of dream, yes. And we fight the enemies of dreams, though we tend to partake of nightmares.
Right.
A dream by any other name. Ah, love it.
So, she says, "I have 2 tasks. One is essential. The other is optional. First, I am to place these blindfolds upon each of you.
Alright.
All of you acquiesce?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I go first.
They are snug and comfortable. And then she says, "Now, 2 options. You will be walking on your own feet, but with your eyes closed, your vision can become mine. Would you like to see things as you are?"
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
I cannot promise that they will be present. It will be a waking dream or a waking nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
All I can do is connect you to dream.
Well, it's just the way troops are, isn't it?
I'm doing it. I've got to experience the culture if I'm going to be like, we should work together.
Great. So,
I don't know if
Who
Finn
is that?
does. Because of the drink from Cracking Shot. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
2 sessions ago, but at this point, probably only about a week ago. In game.
Yeah. maybe we get addicted, but sure, let's do it.
Great.
That's the point.
Now,
live dangerously.
You enter into waking dreams, and you're being led by the Yuan-Ti, and you feel others slither out of the forest, and each of you gets snake-like hands or appendages. You want to, we'll say Walker feels the delicate touch of many snake heads on his shoulders that are Rasana, right? And you're being walked through. Now, I would like each of you to declare what you would like to try to dream about. Now, what's amazing about these dreams is they can be prophetic, or they can tell you the truth about the past. They can reveal something about yourself, but they won't necessarily do any of those things. You could have a Yuan-Ti snake dream and learn more of the Yuan-Ti, right? But anything you can dream of could be what you could focus this on, right? So take a second, think. You're gonna make charisma saves to try to direct your dreams, but if you succeed, you'll dream about what you want to dream about. If you fail, you'll dream about something else, and if you fail by a lot, it might be a terrible night.
Okay.
Do I technically roll advantage on this?
For what purpose? For what?
Because I already walk dreams already?
Yes. I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
All right. So Walker, are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Walker wants, on his mind is only the upcoming debate and leading people and la 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 la. So he is absolutely going to dream about what it would look like to be in a position of power.
Great. He wants to dream of power. Make a charisma save. DC is 13.
Well, I'm gonna use that one reroll. That was not cute. Oh, that's worse. Okay, well then 7.
Great. We'll get to your dream in a second once we do everybody else's. And audience, if you've got advice, you're always welcome to give advice.
We love advice.
We
love
it.
Who else knows? Who else knows?
I have a binary for the audience if they're interested. So the first one is what Finn's father's nightmares are, and the second one is where the dreams end.
Cool. So where the dreams end, or Finn's father's nightmares.
Y'all know I was going to be dreaming about my dad. You know that.
Audience, those are your two options for Gwyn's dreams. We got a Finn's daddy's nightmares already in.
But I also don't want to steal it from Carter. We just get double daddy.
No. I had options.
Double daddy.
Okay.
I had options. I was thinking. But just the phrase "where the dreams end" is can we start a metal band and have that be our album?
I'm gonna go to the Guinevere Spotify list and add that.
Is that a vote for Finn's father's nightmares or a comment on Finn's father's?
Yeah, I think that's just Rai.
I just want to be sure. Because right now, where the dreams end is winning. And I'm finding leaning. No, it's fine. Where the dreams
the way
end.
that I read it.
Roll a charisma.
Well,
am I silent?
No, I hear you.
Oh no, I need to know your intended dream, and I need to know Finn's intended dreams.
All right. Well, so Proopy has an idea which is close to what I was thinking. I too have a binary, which is should I dream more so? I was thinking Finn would be more inclined to dream about whether redemption is possible for his father, or how best to attain power. And I think that consuming all colors of dragons is an interesting way to achieve that goal. So that's in the Rainbow Dragon is the dream.
Rainbow Dragon?
Rainbow Crystal Dragon.
Oh, I kind of want to. I mean, people are commenting Rainbow Dragon right now. But I do want to give.
Is that what you want?
It does seem that Rainbow Dragon is winning.
Yeah, dragon stuff is where it's at. That's it. I like how we had two options for daddy dreams, and
Double
both of us
daddy.
went. Okay.
Daddy issues are very passe. Great. I need what you hopes to dream about.
Great. I'd like to dream about what it's like to live in the Auntie's skin. Like from the beginning, like from when they're single-celled organisms to like what they are now, like just the expansive time and how they're all connected.
Sure. All right.
Love
In that case, I would like everybody that Walker's already made and failed his Christmas. Everybody else to do the same.
Not the fail part.
Not the fail part, but to make.
Does it matter if I'd already rolled, or should I have waited for you to ask?
No, it's fine. I just need to know. I'm not a stickler about that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. 26.
26. You're gonna have your dream of rainbow dragons.
21. Got a fail.
Great. You're gonna have your dream of winning as the living as the Auntie, and Gwen.
Where the dreams end.
Where the dreams end.
Oh no! What was your Christmas save? I missed it.
Oh, I missed it too. No, it was 18. Sorry, not 18. It was 21.
But above, yes. All right, I'm going to roll a random die to see where we're starting. We're going to start with Gwen. Gwen,
Okay.
you find yourself in a featureless place. White and gray in all directions. And it really is like a grayed out white, a white without even radiance, just the absence of things. And while you wait for your dream to begin, you realize this is it. This is the end of dreams. And you have this sinking feeling of non-sentience in you. As you feel this world in which dreams do not exist, and what that means. And what's worse, you feel the horrible weight of its possibility. This is the opposite of what you fight for. You fight for the connection to dreams, for humans to be the place where the rising ape meets the falling angel, right? And this lacks that utterly. And as you look, you see a single other thing here. It is a lion with a pure white mane, with grand eagle wings. But as you look at it, you find yourself not fascinated, not overwhelmed, not in awe, not terrified. All you can do is note the reality of its existence. There are no flavors here. There is no emotion here. There is just 15 feet tall, lion's head, mane, lion's body, wings. You recognize it as a sphinx. And the sphinx says, after our long enmity, good of you to join us here, Quinnipiac. And that's when your dream ends. All right.
Very Kingdom Hearts. I love it.
So,
Sorry, no one could hear that.
Pratchett there. If I'm gonna talk about my own my own influences, it was very Pratchett.
Oh, I saw a
everybody
line in a
knows.
white space creating the world. That's what I heard. Sorry.
The opposite is the end of the world.
Ah, fair.
All right, who's next? Who is next? Is 3 is Finnegan. Oh, Gwyn, you would recognize this creature as a sphinx if I didn't say.
X out.
Great. Finn. Rainbow Dragon.
Yeah. Well, power through consuming that part of me which I hate the most.
So, you are wearing glorious draconic armor. Your right hand is a black dragon claw. Your left hand is a white dragon claw. Your head is a draconic red. You look like Voltron by the time we're done, with green and blue greaves. I don't know the actual colors of Voltron. It wasn't my intention, but that is quite what you look like. You're a dragon knight. And emblazoned on your chest is the 5-headed sigil of Tiamat. You feel yourself filled with immense and terrible power as you sit atop a great dragon whose scales shimmer underneath you, and as you direct it, it breathes acid, fire, lightning, poison, and frost onto the countryside, and you laugh and laugh and laugh as the hobbits and halflings of the rolling hills bow beneath your horrible, horrible tyranny as you conquer all of the old continent. That is your dream of power.
Yikes. God. But like I'm riding Tiamat?
You're not riding Tiamat, you're riding a dragon that shifts between the 5 dragon types. All right, Euclid. Euclid, your dream is about living in the skin of the Yonti.
Yeah.
So it does not begin as much as you had wished as a single cell organism.
Oh.
It begins with you as a totem barbarian in ancient days. In fact, so ancient, it was still in the time of fur, which is a prehistoric time over 10,000 years ago, that all the records of which were lost for the most part, but all of the sentient species were furred. Right? And an ice age is ending, and you have come to the southern regions to worship the snakes. You're at a river delta, and you are speaking with a glorious golden asp that is wreathed around a giant red apple.
Why aren't you asleep? It's cold.
This is the end of the Ice Age.
Oh, I see.
You're
Sorry.
inland, and you journeyed to the jungles to the south, right?
Yeah.
In your with snakes.
Yeah.
You're having a very hard time here. You're hot. You've had to shed all of your furs. You're in a loincloth, and even then, it's miserable. And the snake gestures towards the apple, which is like big. It's head size. It's a big old apple. And as you eat it, you feel with great horror your fingers splintering off and going into 5 different directions. They're the tips of your fingers bursting with snake eyes and fangs coming out of the end of them as you turn into a creature not dissimilar from Rasanoff. You remember bringing your other frozen companions from the north to this place where you get them to eat these same apples and undergo rituals and become a new glorious race beholden to this golden snake.
So, why did I do it?
You did it out of a desire to explore new things, but it led you to a place of power. You were better. This snake version of you was better than your old tabaxi body.
Okay.
It allowed you to live in these hot jungles.
Huh.
But once you had it, once you were superior, your desire was for tyranny and control. And ever since, your people became a threat to the world.
Right.
Due to their assumed genetic superiority.
But, these apples, could I tell, since I've known so long how they existed, are they still around, the apples?
You've never seen them.
Well, I have, because I was the person who ate it, right?
No, I mean, Euclid, have never seen them in the world.
Oh, no, yeah, I get you. But I was wondering if we were doing like a time thing over...
Right.
Yeah. Is it like a tree or something?
It was a giant magical tree, and that is where your dream ends.
Okay.
But
Thank
hold
you.
on to that thought.
Great.
Cool?
Yep.
Last but not least, Walker. A nightmare of power. You experience yourself as the slave master overlord of Tekatawatl. You have achieved control, but at a terrible cost. You are now lording over all of the people of Tekatawatl, standing on that dais, calling out for terrible punishments. And every time you try to stop yourself in this dream, you can't. You're like a spirit living inside your own body, watching yourself do terrible things. And though you have all the power in the world, you are utterly helpless. It is a terrible, terrible dream. You're going to get a level of exhaustion until you do something to deal with this dream, which means you have disadvantage in all skill checks.
Say a lot.
Your blindfolds are taken off. And Persephone says, "Behold that which no mammalian has ever been allowed to see. The glorious golden temple of Siseth." And indeed, you see a golden ziggurat wreathed in this glade, in this river delta here in the midst of this jungle. The sun shimmers off of it, and basking on it are thousands of snakes, some of them Yuan-Ti, others snakes, but what looked like intricate designs were actually snakes everywhere, as far as the eye could see. Euclid,
Well,
you recognize this river delta. You recognize this area. From where you were, in the center of this temple, would be the tree you ate the apple from.
ha.
And that's where we're going to pause for our 10-minute break. We're gonna. You have a thing, Carter?
Yeah, well, I was just curious, what would like be an appropriate save or check to see if Finn's like horrible phobia of snakes gets triggered?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. That's a nat 20.
You good?
You're able to maintain yourself and not vomit in terror.
Okay.
All right.
Terror vomit.
Wrong today.
Another great death metal album.
Terrible. I mean, that's a band. Listen to that.
I
All right,
will
guys.
Is that a
say-
band?
All right, we're going to take our 10-minute break. It is 11:28. See you guys all at 11:38.
Bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dice, Drinks, and Drama. We are on a diplomatic mission to the glorious Golden Temple of Siseth in the heart of the Talian jungle. They have just arrived at a place that is forbidden for mammalians to tread. And indeed, there are snakes. OMG, snakes everywhere. Which Finn is dealing with remarkably well. He's fine.
Fine. It's whatever. You know? They're slithery and disgusting and they make me want to vomit, but I won't.
I'm a little confused. You are scaly. They are scaly. What is the difference?
I did not say it. I don't have a thing against scales or scalies.
Okay.
I said slithery.
So
But like,
I bring
it's the
it
same
up again.
feeling.
No, it's
Oleaginous. I don't know how to say that.
it's the spinal movement. It's the like back and forth little wiggles. There's something unsettling about it.
So there wasn't like an inciting incident or anything like that where there were just too many snakes. Your dad didn't just throw snakes at you or something like that.
Can I ask you to roll insight, John? Is that okay?
Me to roll insight?
No, not you, John. But John, is it okay for me to ask
Yeah,
Wynn to roll insight on that?
Absolutely. I'm like, why am I rolling insight for whom? Are you
okay.
assuming? I'm assuming you guys are talking outside the. This doesn't sound like a conversation you want to have in front of your snake friends. So I was assuming it wasn't in front of them.
Yeah. So it's like,
Fun.
Great.
how much of my backstory can Gwen get from like facial movements? Feels like an insight.
Roll an insight check, and we'll and you can share what you'd like. Finn.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Dirty 20.
All right. Okay. So
Insight's one of my proficiencies.
there is clearly past trauma, definitely, and the fact that like it's not the scales, it's the movement and the way in which snakes wiggle. That's about all you're going to be able to get from like the snarl on my face. But I feel like that's a lot of info.
You've said this out loud, right?
Pardon?
You said this out loud, right?
It's the Gwyn files.
No.
I mean, you said it was the way they move when I asked you.
Oh yeah, no, I did say that.
That would make sorry, that would make Euclid think about it for a second, and also compare it to what he used to feel in his face, and now he feels uncomfortable around snakes. Thanks.
Finn, while you're handling this, you didn't realize that the ground is covered in tiny garter snakes.
Oh no.
And you look down and you see a larger one slither up and bump its head against your foot like a cat. Like an affectionate cat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't step on its head.
Eyes.
Oh, don't tell me it has cute eyes. That's conflicting.
It has emotionless eyes, but it's definitely looking at you. It's reptilian. And you do feel a strange, scaly connection, and you hate it.
Yeah.
In fact, the various snakes around are slithering out, and they're ignoring everybody else. And some of them are coming and bumping against you. Rosanath says, I did not know you were favored of the scales. Why do the snakes react to you in this way?
Oh, don't be alarmed. I mean no one harm. And then I'm going to, I'm gonna have to spend a sorcery point in order to show him what. So, what's my meta magic again? I forgot. Okay, cool. I will, cast Firebolt just up into the sky, but I will empower it.
Mm-hmm.
And doing so reveals just a little bit more of the scales on my face.
You understand. And this mere furred flesh that all of you have is secondary to the gloriousness of scales.
Okay, I won't take offense to that. I'm glad I'm not talking to you about this, though.
You choose to grow closer to the reptiles as we do.
Well, I don't want to give you the wrong idea. I didn't quite choose this. It's more of a weird birthright. But it's a part of me. Certainly.
He says, he looks at you and says, you have cultivated, you have connected to this part of your ancestry.
Well, yeah, that is
to do such a thing.
I did. I made that choice.
He touches his heart with all of his various snake fingers and says, you have made the same choice our ancestors did, and we honor you.
Well, do you care that my scales are dragon?
They are scales.
All right, cool. I just, I didn't make the exact same choice.
Yes, honey. Scales is scales. We love it.
And you should also consider what a boon this might be to diplomacy before you keep fighting against it.
Oh, no. Carter is very aware. Carter was thinking about that for the entire 10-minute break. I was like, I can't wait to get out of eating the apple by saying, I already have scales. But Finn's an idiot.
Great. Rosanoth says, I must inform the queen of your arrival. Persephone shall speak with you about what is here. And Rosanoth slithers towards the temple. Persephone says, you will be meeting with the triumvirate, of which I am one, and the queen. There are 3 factions, each of which sees our way towards the future of a glorious, slithering empire like it was in the days of old. I lead the nightmare speakers that connect with dream, emotion, and magics. You will meet the poison lords, masters of stealth, treachery, and poison, of course. And finally, there are the spine crushers. They are our martial contingent, the ones that believe we shall achieve transcendence through the mere snakiness of our Ophidian bodies.
I'm sorry, you used the word snakiness?
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, I was not meant to be offensive. I'm sorry. Sorry.
He looks at you and says, you could not possibly offend me.
Oh, wonderful. I've got a lot of things to say then.
I love him. No,
Okay.
Her? This is Persephone, right?
Persephone.
Persephone.
P-E-R-S apostrophe S-E-P-H-I-N-E.
Persephone.
You know what? I actually got that right in my notes.
Right?
Wow. Besides the apostrophe, obviously.
Okay, so you've got your 3 speakers and a queen. I'm assuming that I will be talking to the queen directly. Yes?
Each of the factions is interested in speaking to you, and the queen merely shall have final say over whether the 3 other deals you make suit her ends.
Oh, okay. I love it. Well, you speak for your house, yes, of the nightmare speakers. You're speakers of the speakers, yes?
Welcome, Blue Collar DM. Thanks for the raid.
Also, great name.
Thank you, Blue Collar DM.
Yeah.
So the Yuan-Ti Nightmare Speaker, the head of the Nightmare Speakers, says, indeed, but it is not here that I wish to speak with you. And what is more, she says, looking at you and leaning in, bringing her humanoid eyes only a few inches from you, it is not you I wish to speak to.
I didn't bring any other candidate with me.
He turns and says, Guinevere, will you join me in the Nightmare Grotto? will you dance with the shades of dreams, such that I can see if our ideals intersect? And can we speak about how dreams might be planted and blossom in the city of Tectitawatl?
It'll be a nice relief from these guys.
Oh, alright. Fine.
She holds out a semi-scaled humanoid arm and says, "Come with me."
And then Gwen also like looks back and winks to indicate that that was not meant as a full flight.
The sea of snakes parts a bit as she leads you towards a huge stone ramp going down. Walking down it without Snaketail is going to be very difficult, actually, as it's a little steep. Do you want to ask for assistance, or do you want to make an acrobatics check to keep your balance on the way down?
I would make an acrobatic check because I feel as though using my powers in this would be cultural appropriation to some degree. And I did not do well.
She's slithering ahead of you before you roll that dice. She's slithering ahead of you. You could say something like, "My feet are not suited for this sort of ramp. Will you help me?" And you'll get advantage on the acrobatics check. You see what I'm saying? Or you could try to do it on your own.
Oh, I'm willing to slide. I am fully accepting that roll. And it was a 7.
Guinevere quickly disappear as she begins to fall down a slide into the Nightmare Grotto.
Well, I love when things don't go that way.
I'm going to take note of you. Do you like? Is there like a yelp?
There is no yelp. It's like, you know when somebody goes just stone silent when they fall? She just, no emotion in her face. It's just like, no looking back either. Just eyes straight forward. Not even in the direction she's going down.
The worst water park in the world.
I hope there was water down there.
All right. So the three of you are being led towards the temple.
By whomst?
I guess.
Whomstidative?
You're right. I need another person.
Thing 7.
A giant palanquin is being borne out on the backs of 4 Yonti abominations. Abominations are a degree larger in the way that ogres and giants are a degree larger than humans, but roughly the same shape. The abominations are huge Yonti. Huge has a meaning in Dungeons & Dragons, and so I should not use that word. I believe they are large Yonti. But the point is, they are huge they are technically large, but they are huge in comparison. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Words having extra meanings. And these in particular are all humanoid torsos, huge, bulging humanoid arms, but completely snake-like. There's nothing fleshy about these. Snake heads, snake tails, and all of them are carrying a huge palanquin, on which there are several other much slighter Yonti with feathers, wafting at a larger, full-bodied snake woman. That's how I want to put it. She's certainly not obese or long, but she's thick, right?
1 C, 2 C's?
How many C's?
How many C's?
As a sexual, I have a difficulty with bra cup sizes. Is that what you're asking?
No.
Oh.
No! I
You're
unmuted
asking.
myself to chide you.
So,
It's a
the
meme.
education of the thick. How does one go about?
I'm sorry. I'm not asking bra cup size. I'm like, what does it even mean? I don't know.
Yeah, see, look at the
See,
chat. You know how like people are spelling thick
Thick.
exclusively with C's?
Thick with 3
Sorry.
C's.
Goals.
How thick?
With the groovy lingo of the youths.
How thick is that snack?
That is a millennial construction,
Dummy
and
thick.
far before.
Dummy thick.
Dummy thick.
I'm
I tried
sorry.
to sneak past the snake guards, but my
She's
butt
not
was too tummy thick.
she-
And it kept
Somebody of my generation might call them voluptuous. How about that?
Where are you from?
Are we not all of the same generation? Like, where
Yeah,
are you?
what do you
feel to be back in
Are
the
we trying
20s,
to go
John.
forward?
All right now. This lighting isn't very good. Oh, you can sort of see it. I'm just all over. Just red. Anyway, this is supposed to be a moment of gravity as the
It was a dummy thick snake. What are we gonna do?
and she dummy thick. The palanquin is lowered, and she is draped in gold and jewels. She's not wearing clothing. She's wearing necklaces.
Sorry.
And
yes.
she, right? And there's a lot of ground to cover too. So she's just a living treasure right now, right?
She is a living treasure.
And she says, "I am Aloysia, Queen of the Yonti, chosen of Siseth. I understand that you, Tabaxi, I am sorry, walker in summer." She says the word walker like it is a disdain. You realize most of them have, most of these people slither, so your name literally differentiates you from them.
Well, it'd be like this sometimes.
And she says, "I am here to welcome you to the glorious temple and to introduce you to those with whom you might make deals."
I assume this is a custom of yours. These deals. What are these deals? You keep talking about deals. I didn't know I was here to make deals. I thought I was here to talk.
And with literal venom says, "Nothing about this is customary. We do not allow warm bloods into our sacred grounds." But Rosanov brought this to us from your compatriot, and we are not without representation here. And when all three members of the factions insist against the will of the Queen, the will of the Queen is subsumed.
Okay.
I would not have chosen to have you here, and it is still ultimately my veto. So I look forward to seeing what deals you make. And why deals? Because you will not get something for nothing. You will not debase our glorious traditions and culture and the histories of our empire simply because you have reached out to us. Concessions must be made.
And I would never dream of it. There's a consequence for every action. There we agree.
Are these your diplomats?
I didn't want to call them that, but yes, they are.
Time is of the essence. I suggest that we discuss what your plans are for this new alliance. And again, she says it like it just tastes bad, right?
It's an acquired one, though. You'll get this.
While you send your friends to speak with the faction leaders.
Yes, well, are you okay?
So, already your dream druid speaks to nightmares. Who shall speak? Which of these two shall speak to the spine crushers?
That,
to the poison lords?
You know...
Both of us sound like great time.
Yes, they do, which is why you're going to be going to the poison lords, yes? Right? We love that.
Oh, sounds great to me.
That sounds wonderful, yes. And you, my strong, strong friend, I'm pretty sure you and the spine crushers will get right along.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've crushed a couple.
Of spines?
Yeah.
Oh, see, already common ground everywhere you look. It is wild how much we have in common. All right, see.
Spine crushers are one thing, but how many dragon heart eaters are there? You know what I'm saying?
He's always thinking.
I still have indigestion.
Ooh, that's what we call a good time here.
She looks at the way you're talking to your friends with utter disdain and disgust. Just like, why is he wasting my time? Is the look on her face, right? And she says, "Are you quite done?"
Let me. Yes, we are. All right.
Join me in the heart of this temple. The others will be split off to talk with their various factions. There are things I wish to show you, Walker, in summer. So, you are brought in, but first let's go to the Nightmare Grotto. You are in an underground, damp cavern. Mushrooms everywhere, some of which glow, others of which reflect the glowing light of the other mushrooms, and they look virulent, purples and greens and blues. The way that nature says, this is very poisonous, don't touch, all of these mushrooms scream that, right? There are, also in this grotto that clearly feasting on the mushrooms, are rainbow dart frogs. With brightly colored reds, blues, pinks, purples, that again, you see have been animal husbanded in this place to be massively poisonous, right? There are sketches of a snake in the shape of two that writhes into two S's, almost a cursive, right? And then there are various Yonti, some of which are almost mostly humanoid, but with a few scales, some of which are nearly entirely snakes, just with arms, right? And there it is they're all clearly high out of their minds, dancing and writhing rhythmically in, it feels like a witch's dance in the woods. You know the history I'm talking about? There is not a scrap of clothing on any of them, and most of them there's nothing indecent to your civilized sensibilities. A very few of them is like, oh, he's naked, right? Because they're mostly human. But for most of them, it wouldn't even occur to you that they're not wearing clothes, right? You're waking up in the mud, in the muck, like coming to after your fall, looking at all of this. The other thing that's very apparent is little motes of light that look like will-o'-the-wisps. Right? And she says, okay. This is the Nightmare Grotto, where we connect with the dreams of this land and all others.
So, how do we begin?
It is rare for an outsider to wish to partake of our potent poisons. For you see, it is unlikely that you will survive.
Sometimes the steps to enlightenment are put with risk that some are too scared to take.
It was not my intention for you to join us. I am in fact surprised at your interest. I had thought that our ways might horrify you.
I have always been one to try to get a bit more of a perspective on other people. And quite recently, I've had my own resistance build when it comes to poison consumables.
We have heard that you partook of Rossinott's cooking, which, considering what an excellent chef he is, means that it's surprising that you're all alive. Now, I took you down here to see this, to see how you would feel about our dreams. We worship Seseth, the sibilant Lord of Death. And here, we are more interested in his sibilance than in his capacity to murder. It is well known that we Yonti are what mammalians call an evil race, for we are interested in domination, empire, and power. That is no less true of us, for we are interested in power. We here connect to the magic that exists in all dreams. We connect to the power of our dark god. For power's sake, to be used if it must, but mostly to explore and to grow and to learn. How does this make you feel outside?
Warm, familiar. It just sounds lovely. There's a balance between those things.
We understand, we know little of the various phenotypes amongst the mammalians, but from what we understand, your classification is drow elf?
Oh yes, but I just definitely the bits about domination and power just to learn just came off as endearing to me.
That you might be used to the worship of a venomous god.
Yes, quite a bit. Different kind of venom from arachnids. Then
I will be clear on what our request is, and you may negotiate. We wish to build a Hanbalani altar. You do not know what this is, for they have not existed for some time. They are a spire of dreaming, with a great tree crystal inside them. They harvest the energy of dreams. We have one here that connects to the dreams of the snake people. We wish to expand our connection to dreams and the potency of dreams in Tectatuatl. We wish to build one on the outskirts of your city, such that the power of your people's dreams can be harnessed. It will cause them no harm, but give great power to us. The effect it will have is to make all dreams more potent. The nightmares, the phantasmagorias, the sexual fantasies, all will be deeply potent to those who sleep within the city's walls.
outside of the city's walls, what are the influence of those dreams?
They will have no influence in the manner that you mean. What will happen is we will be heightening dreams such that their power will be collected in the Hanbalani.
But in elevation, that implies cost to somebody else. From what you've told me, I'm just going off of the insights you've told me.
This way, yes? If a farmer were to induce a sheep to grow thicker wool, and only sheared the sheep to the level that its wool used to be at, perhaps a little thicker, the sheep has thicker wool, and the farmer has lots extra wool, and all it took was something that could increase the growth of wool. I'm not sure if this is how sheep work. I'm trying to make an analogy your people will understand.
I think I understand. I also haven't seen many sheep. We are both absence of sheep, but understanding of the parallel you're making.
Good.
I could trade you 2 wheat if you had sheep to give, though.
You don't have wood for sheep?
No, just wheat.
Cool. Great.
Sorry, I have bricks. I could do bricks. I got clay.
Canceled.
I hate all of you. So, I love you guys. That is what we ask of you. What you have seen this. We are warlocks of immense power. So we have power to offer. We also have wisdom and knowledge, and perhaps even secrets that could help this city grow and thrive. Forgotten ruins in this jungle that we no longer lay claim to, news of enemies that might exist. We could offer information, we could offer power, we could offer defense. What do your people, what do you want for the Hanbalani if it were to exist?
I feel like as an outsider, I wouldn't be quite sure.
You have been given the authority to be a diplomat.
Yes.
Choice to ask for.
I feel as though to have a better understanding of your magics. I know it seems that I'm being pushy about it, but I acknowledge the risk of it entirely and would love to experience it for myself before I can understand and fully say how I will support it.
We as a society are exceptional at finding those with magical potentiality. Would you like us to use the Hanbalani that we would build to sift through the dreams of your populace and find those with sorceress attunement, wizardly affiliation, or even the capacity to truly channel a being like Arsaseth? We could find the arcane magic that exists within your society and amplify it. We could help you make Tectatuatl into a city of wizards.
Gwen would like to make a history check to how magic has worked in the city before, and if that has anything to do with the persecution of Walker and Summer or the Tabaxi in general.
Sure, you don't need to make a history check for that. Magic was only allowed amongst the dragons, who were the only citizens. Occasionally, they would up-jump a slave because they had magical capability. More likely, they were to kill them because they represented a threat. So, a large number of the rebels were magic users because their magic would be discovered and they'd realize it was a death sentence and they would have to escape or die. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does. And it informs her next question, too.
Yeah. The other thing would be there would be a lot of green dragon blood in the city for obvious reasons, which means there would be a preponderance of people with latent sorcerer's powers.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that you could end up with a city with a ton of sorcerers, which would be a great thing. And they would all have Walker to thank.
Yes, but then there's the issue of people who do not possess magic powers, and also people who then come into having magic powers and don't know how to properly deal with them.
And that's one of the things the Yonti are offering.
Yes.
The discovery and the training of magic.
All right.
Very well. That is the deal that we will express a Hanbalani for the exploration of arcane ability. Separate from all this, we set aside our dealings. I imagine that we have done this quickly in a way that will take some time for the others. Would you like to dance with us in the darkness?
Sounds good.
She then goes and says, this mushroom, tiny green mushroom, will cause you to see things that you could not otherwise see and cause no potential harm to come to you. This frog, were you to chew upon it, would cause you to dream another's dream, if you have enough ability, even a person of your choice. And then finally, she goes over to one of the glowing mushrooms and says, highly toxic, incredibly dangerous, but the first person to sup upon such a mushroom The first time a person sups upon such a mushroom, they experience an epiphany. You will learn something early. A secret that you would learn later in life, but now.
Is there really a choice there? Should I actually... I think the entire chat knows which one I would choose. So...
I was going to let them choose, but I was like, you know what? This is a good win choice.
Okay, I'm obviously going with the most toxic mushroom.
So first, we got 3 saving throws you have to get through to get this epiphany. You ready?
Yeah.
You die. Constitution save, DC 13.
I live.
Great. You are deeply sick, though. You're poisoned. Yes?
Yes.
Next, 1,000,000 different images flood your mind. It is impossible to sort through. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw to calm and center and focus yourself amongst this wild panoply of images.
14.
14? Great. Finally, I need you to think of what you might want to learn. This charisma save is how to direct that. So make a charisma save, and if you succeed at a DC 17 charisma save, you'll learn something you wish to learn, as opposed to that which the mushroom wishes to teach you.
Okay. And I got a 19.
Great. So, as you begin this lucid dreaming, what is it that you wish to learn about?
How to protect my friends from what they cannot control.
Sure. So, first, you begin this like epic download of information that you're like burning your way through, but part of it has you feeling joyous and free. Persephone comes to you and says, "Your clothing, it gets in the way," and she seeks to begin undressing. Do you stop her? Great.
Well, there's a few other naked people, it seems
You
customary.
find dancing almost outside of your control in a wild celebration of life and energy, as your brain is filled with images. You wish to learn how to protect your friends from that which they cannot control, and all you can keep thinking about are these dark frogs. It becomes very clear to you that you must leave with some of them.
Okay.
I don't know why, but the epiphany is very serious. These dart frogs will save your friends' lives from that which they cannot control. Do you wish to ask for some of these dart frogs?
Or very, very politely.
Okay, great. You want to ask her? She says, you're about to speak, and she holds up one of her fingers and says, "Do not speak of the epiphany. That is for you and you alone. But did you see?"
Yes.
She takes your hands and says, "You are the only mammalian I have known to do this. Whatever happens between our people, you have the respect of Persephone."
She feels honored. They feel honored, and start to try to figure out which of the frogs they're taking on the floor. So I'm just profiling the dart frog collection.
She's going to make an insight check and say, an easy gift. And she's going to slither away, and she's going to come back with a glass orb that has basically got a terrarium inside it with a satchel. And she's going to place half a dozen frogs in there and say, insects are their favorite, but they will eat what they are fed. And you have a satchel with 6 very brightly colored pink, purple, green poison dart frogs that are hallucinogenic. So there's that. Great. Frogs apparently in the chat.
It's frogs.
Don't say in the chat. We know that was Zeke.
And just being a master is all about fan service to your very small fan base of your individual players, right?
No,
what it is.
no. All of us are frogs.
I know. I was saying, right? Like, yeah, getting hallucinogenic frogs is great.
This is the amphibian armada, my friend.
Yeah.
Great.
Be frog, do gay.
Be frog, do gay.
Yes.
Euclid.
Thank you for the frog.
Oh, great.
You're going to the Poison Lords, yes?
Yeah, that's right.
Great. So, so you are walked through many different back corridors, and you are greeted by a beautiful gentleman that you would not know was not human if somebody had told you. Think he was a sort of like different from perhaps some country you'd never been to, but he looks utterly human. The only hints are slightly reptilian pupils, which again, the world is weird, right? You would not assume this was a snake person.
Yeah, no, that looks really cool.
And he says, greetings, in perfect, in a perfect accent from Crossroads. If we had met elsewhere, you would call me Halas, but here I am Halas Saka.
Halas Saka. Sure. Oh, thanks for the follow, Evan. Thanks for the follow. Halas Saka. Nice to meet you.
My efforts in the old continent were such that I was arisen to the rank of Poison Lord, of the Poison Lords. Because my espionage and my abilities were so fine, there are still several cities that no one knows are run by Yonti. And now I have returned to the home country to aid us in our political maneuverings.
What cities?
He smiles predatorily and says, I've worked far too hard to reveal that.
Well, look, all I'm saying is you're gonna run my city any day. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, too forward. Sorry, just joking.
We have no intention of running Tetrajuatl. If we did, we would have done it.
All right, you're good. All right, yeah, of course. I know, totally right.
Now,
so,
yes,
I'm here to broker a deal of some sort. What you got?
Well, it's a question of how underhanded you want to be. We have intelligence on everyone in that city. The Yonti know as much as we can possibly know about everyone. If you need dirt on your political rivals, that exists. If you have somebody you need to show up mysteriously dead, we can make that happen. The other opportunity in that vein is propaganda. We know how to manipulate populaces. If you want to make your candidate the most beloved candidate, we can use the information we've mined about everyone in that city to do so. Now, these are the underhanded options. The overhanded options are much simpler. we can provide you with dossiers and information about all of the civilizations around here. We know the weaknesses of the dragon camps that will seek to ruin your city. Intelligence is what we have to offer, overhanded or underhanded, diplomatic or full of subterfuge and illicit. What do you want?
Alright, I've got a weird one for you. This is a little separate from what you were talking about. What about the berry brambles? Have you done anything with them? Little info docket.
Their activities.
What if you find a way to subvert their activities, make it look like it was one of the other opponents that did it?
Interesting. You wish us to frame the berry brambles?
Or the other way around, make one of the other people who are fighting the good fight for the city, that they were the ones who
I see. You wish to discredit one of Walker's rivals by making them appear to be openly working with the berry brambles?
No, I want them to make the berry brambles angry.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
In what way?
I don't know. You guys are the subterfuge people. I'm just a warlock. I mean, look, I can come up with ideas, sure. One of them, you convince one of them with your underground city people that they could undo, like they should stop the black market that they know so much about because they've had connections to it, but or something like that.
John's having a hard time getting what Zeke is trying to say.
Sure.
So
what I'm saying is that we anger the berry brambles by some other reason. Turn the berry brambles on the other groups.
And what is the end goal of that? I guess that's what I'm missing.
He's the one who's supporting and backing the other two people. So if he has no one to back, he'll turn to Walker and then back him.
You want to anger the berry brambles and make it look like it's the other people that are doing it?
Yes.
Got it. That's what I was missing. All I got was I want to anger the berry brambles, and I'm like, but why?
Yeah, I just want the other people to anger them.
Great.
Yeah.
So you want to make it look like Demog and Gold Sun Gold, are working against the berry brambles while at the same time trying to curry their favor?
Oh yeah.
Very easy. Very easy indeed. We would be happy to do this. We want an embassy. We want an open embassy in your city.
Sure. What about if you do that, no one in that city could pose as someone else? No spies once the embassy is open.
I'm afraid we can't agree to that.
So what's the point of being open then, right?
Oh, understand, the Poison Lords are not interested in truly being open. We are interested in the veneer of diplomacy so we can start doing diplomacy with other nations. I thought we were being honest with each other. This is not about having our dealings open. We would never want that. We want the appearance of transparency.
Yeah, you just stay transparent with us, right?
There will always, in every culture, be Yonti who appear to be of whatever culture they are in. That is who we are. You will not take that from us. We will be there regardless.
Don't you want to just like let your skin feel the sun, your scales out there, just stretch out, let everyone know who you are?
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. Oh, I was on a different page. Hey, that's not horrible. Actually, it's great. That's a math 20. I've got a +7 on my persuasion check.
He says, there must be some sort of compromise.
Yeah.
I like you. as weird as you are.
Of course.
So, what is the compromise? How can we make this work? We will not have no spies. Would you like us to limit our spies?
Or how about this? We know, not everyone, but a select few. You work with us to spy within our own country.
This is acceptable.
Alright. I'll take that.
Bring this recommendation to you. Now,
Okay.
you are an interesting choice to have been sent here. You do not seem to be the subtle sort.
Depends on the day.
He looks at you and says, try to hide from me.
Oh,
I will turn around and try to find you. I wish to see how skilled you are at stealth.
sure. I'll cast invisibility as he turns around.
Spells, he says, as he hears you casting a spell.
Well, that's what you asked for, isn't it? Oh, you want me to actually hide?
I did
Sure.
indeed.
Oh, okay, sure. I pull up my hood over my head.
You put a hood over your head? You're not actually going to try to hide?
No.
He turns and says, foolishness.
No. That's not how you hide. You don't hide by going behind the shadows or pretend not to be there and like confusing people. You stand out in the open, you let them see you, and let them believe who they want you to be. This isn't the first time I've infiltrated a group.
He looks at you and says, very well.
Eh.
I was hoping to teach you something here, but it's clear you have no interest in such a thing.
Oh, you want to help me hide? That's fine. I'd be fine to learn things. But I'm just telling you, if you want me to, like... That's how you hide, in a political sense. You just stand out in front of them and let them believe who you are.
I didn't mean in a political sense.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were looking for people who hid in, like, plain sight. That's my bad. I just misunderstood you.
He says, I understand. This is, again, for when you need to actually be subtle. You speak of deception, but not about truly hiding who and what you are. I wish, as a gift, to help you not be seen at all, and not to rely on magic to do it.
Okay. How do I do that?
And he's going to, are you willing to learn?
Yeah.
Great. You're going, do you have proficiency in stealth?
No. Do now, I assume.
You do, yes, you do. When it comes, I was gonna like limit it, but no. You're just gonna gain proficiency in stealth as he teaches you tricks to hiding. And he says, now you have two tools, hiding in plain sight and hiding out of sight.
Thank you. Sorry if I offended you, it just seemed like that was more what we were talking about, you know, political stealth.
He says, offended, no. Perplexed, yes.
Always.
All right. Finn. Spine crushers.
Yeah.
So this is the abominations and the malisons, right? This is a barracks. There are dummies set up that they're attacking. There's people fighting with wooden scimitars. There's a lot of archery. There's a section where you see people being, you see snakes being trained to lather snake venom from living snakes. They're squeezing their fangs onto blades. This is the Yuan-Ti art of war, right?
Okay.
Always thank you for follows.
Always.
Love that.
Do you guys enjoy my ASMR?
You are brought to a huge abomination, Finn. He's probably 24 feet long from tail end to head, but he's standing about 10 feet tall, right? With like 12 feet of snake tail behind him, right? You feel like a mouse.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
In fact, I want you to make a will save as you are dealing with a literal nightmare.
Will as in wisdom? That's a nat 20 again.
Great. He says, I am Cross Urbla. You are the Finn that I have heard I am to speak to, yes?
Yeah, I didn't realize you knew. I was not told that I would be speaking to you, but it is a pleasure, CrossFit.
His eyes bore into yours, and he says, you are terrified, but you hide it well. This is the sign of a warrior.
Yeah.
Good. You are here to negotiate on the part of your people, yes?
Yes, I am one of 3 diplomats under the presumptuous president of Tecatawatl.
Great. He takes a sword that would be too big for you to wield and would be two-handed for like one of your Goliath friends, right? And he's holding it easily like a short sword in his hand, and he's like looking at the blade, and he says, garbage, throw this one out, and he throws it in the direction of one of the other Yonti who has to dodge out of the way. And he says, we are about tempered steel. We are about perfection. Our bodies are better than they would be if we had not transformed. How will you help us evolve further? What does your city have to offer that will make us greater than what we already are?
Well, and I have spent some sorcery points, so my scales are still visible. As someone who knows how to shed one life and accept another, maybe more so than you. I don't know your past. You don't know mine. I know that molting and growing is best when you know what your aims are. I think that my city is adaptable and can offer many things, but I want to know what direction you desire to grow in.
There are many thoughts on this. This is why there are 3 factions. It is my thought that we should be dominated. What I want is a joint military effort that will lead to an open Yonti city-state. I want legitimacy for this imperial aim.
Are you legitimate if half of your army is supplemented by others?
If a recently civilized, freed slave state were to fight alongside us and say that we were honorable warriors, working together with them to claim a piece of a country that should have been ours as much as their piece of the country should have been theirs, then yes.
Well, there we go. See, now we've really hit the heart of the issue, because obviously we are not going to join nations. We have different aims. We have different goals. We have different cultures and different identities. But it seems you showed your hand just a little bit, and there's a little bit of land you think is yours that is deserved to you, and yet someone else holds claim to it. So why don't you tell me about that?
Simple enough. Do you know the history of this continent?
No. No, I'm from beyond Port Elame. I'm from the Rolling Hills.
Ah, yes, the old continent, as they call this the new one. They only call this the new continent because of what happened here. We had no dragons. We were a series of very advanced states. And then, the dragons of the old world discovered this one. And they came over and destroyed or enslaved the cultures that were here already. Now, most people think Tectatuatl was a human city 500 years ago before the dragons came. But it was not. It was a Yuan-Ti city. Their kings were ours. They were ruled by the snakes, and we ruled from the jungles. Only powerful magics kept the dragons from this place, the only home of our civilization now, with the rest of it lying in destroyed ruins. We do not wish Tectatuatl back. It is firmly mammalian now. But other dragon cities, other dragon fortresses, they should be ours as reparations for what was taken from us. We wish for you to legitimize our claim to an open Yuan-Ti city.
And as in singular.
Yes.
Now, I'm not the best general in the world. There have been many before me who are much wiser, much more knowledgeable, but I'm hatching a bit of an idea. My president is more than willing to back any claims to legitimacy and to squash any sort of prejudice. That I will be honest, a mammalian even like myself, even who is touched by scales, has had. Talking to you and journeying with Rasanath, I've come to see you as who you really are, which is a very clever people.
Yes.
I think that one city is very agreeable, but I would ask that you be allies in this war against the dragons. I would ask that you fight side by side with myself to rid this continent of the dragon scourge. And if you want one free open city of Yuan-Ti, it is yours.
Very good. So this is our proposal. Your Walker in Summer joins with me, Kraz Subla, in an assault on one of the other Green Dragon holdings. With an army from Tectatuatl and an army from the glorious Temple of Siseth. We take it together, and Walker declares alongside us that this is Yuan-Ti land.
Yes, but I think you missed a little bit of my point, which is that we march together against all three.
Oh, yes.
One is yours.
What we are saying is this happens first, and then our army joins you for the other two.
I think as a sign of good faith, that's more than fair.
We will grant you our army, and you will grant us your legitimacy.
But here's the thing. Right now, we're trading word for word, which is fair, and that's equal and balanced. But I would like a little bit of reassurance or collateral should you change your mind after you have your city? How can I rest assured? How can I make my president confident in your word?
We could do a blood contract, you and I.
That means a lot to me. I don't know how much that means to my president.
It is binding. Either of us, if we give up our word, will wither and die within a week.
Can I roll insight, arcana, history?
Sure.
Do I just know
Any
this?
of those. Any of those.
Okay. Okay, out of those three, I rolled a base 13. Insight, arcana, or history. I chose three things that I'm not... Okay, one of those three is a wisdom, so it's 13.
13.
I'm so dumb.
We need to get you arcana. Sorcery.
We need to get me a higher intelligence.
You're the one that built your character.
I know, because I love it.
So we'll say that this sounds reasonable and believable to you.
All right. I'm gonna let him draw first blood.
Great. So what he's actually going to do is...
I call him Sylvester Stallone for the rest of the night.
Sorry?
Can I call him Sylvester Stallone for the rest of the night?
You could.
Because he drew first blood.
Well, he... what he's actually going to do...
Can I give that disadvantage again?
The Mind Whisperer Warlocks, which are aggressive warlocks. And they are going to write up a contract they're going to cut him and drip his blood into a serpentine goblet, and then it's going to say, "Your turn."
Can you go across, not down?
We shall cut you in the manner we are ritually accustomed to.
Well then, alright. Just like, you have a nurse on hand or something? Just in case. Just do it.
It cuts, and it bleeds in, and then one of them takes out a bone sharpened into a quill and begins to write the contract in common in a combination of his snake blood and your halfling blood. And it says in excruciating detail all of the stuff that you just described.
Okay.
Right?
I will sign it first, and I'm gonna John Hancock that shit.
Sure.
It's a big signature.
And big ass F, like I'm imagining. And then it's, oh god.
Big ass F. Little tiny little I, tiny little N.
Right. Great, as you can barely fit it in. Great. And he says, "This is agreeable."
All right. Well,
you are tough. You are fierce.
Thank you.
Let us work on that. Do you have proficiency in intimidation, by the way?
Do I have it? Man, I'm missing all three of the eyes.
Sure. And he says, "You are hard to frighten. I wish to help you frighten your enemies.
All right.
Let me show you. Bring forth one of the weak ones." And a weak warrior comes out, a pureblood, which are what the near human ones are.
Yeah.
And he takes another one of these giant swords and says, looks him in the eyes and says, "Do you know what you've done to be brought forward here?" And the other young says, "No, sir, no." "Well, it is all due to this mammal here. It is because of him you have been brought forth." And you watch the way he holds himself and watches the way he leans in, and even though you're tiny, you're learning all of this body posturing and power. And eventually, he just gets to a point where the smaller Yuan-Ti faints in terror and says, "And that is how you frighten those with less power than you."
That's quite the master class, sir. Thank you.
You are a warrior. I respect that.
I can't believe I have the respect of someone who is 2 stories tall. So, thank you. What is the view like up there?
He looks about and says, I could ask the same about you. All I know is that I tower above most things, and they cower in terror. I imagine you do not often have that experience.
No, I don't have that experience except with some gnomes. But here's the thing. I have a very flexible back because I'm used to looking up. So makes me a little agile.
He looks at his back, which is a snake tail, and therefore a little bit more flexible than yours.
Definitely.
He doesn't say that. He has the decency not to go, "I think my back is more flexible, bro." Good. All right. Walker. You are shown all the glories of this golden place. You see the Yonti of all the different castes. In here, there are a number of brood guards, which are bipedal, but like snake monstrosities, barely sentient. Like, they're monsters that are guarding everywhere, right? You are shown to glorious... you are shown to a glorious treasure chamber. You are shown the cultural beauties of this place, but there's clear one place that you're not brought to, which is the center of the temple. It's not mentioned. It doesn't come up, right?
But I notice.
You notice, because you're clever, right? The last thing you're brought to is a throne room, and after this grand tour, the other 3 have been brought here as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I wish to hear. I wish to hear. This is Queen Aloysia. I wish to hear what deals you have made so I can make my judgment if they are to be honored.
Gwyn, shall we hear?
They pull up their what do you think? I have frogs.
I don't know how these deals went, and I don't know whether to look aghast or ecstatic about that.
They're trying to be like, it went well, we can talk about it later.
See, frogs, lovely. We love frogs. I'm sure you do.
The Queen says, "I'm sure that's not all you discussed with the Nightmare Speakers. What is the nature of the deal?"
The nature of the deal is that anyone who is more attuned towards inclinations towards magic will get a bit of a boost from the dreams that they have and everything that they're attuning themselves.
And what do we get for such aid? Do you remember?
Nope.
They're building a great monolith, a Hanbalani Alta, on the outskirts of the town.
It's a 5e.
That's what I figured. I viewed it as a beacon, and that's why my brain took it that way.
You're fine. I just wanted to... You get it.
I took it as a magic beacon that helps with that particular thing.
Great. You could say a dream beacon if you want to not remember. If you want Gwyn to not remember the words, it's a Hanbalani. I'll write it in the chat.
No, it's more that Gwyn doesn't want to try to pronounce it in the context of sounding rude, rather than saying it's a dream beacon, because pronouncing that incorrectly would be...
This is actually an Eberron thing.
Offensive.
So you get and we get more wizards. Okay, deals are being made. I love that. Euclid, What did you say?
Right, so they get an embassy, right? That's fine. They'll run.
Embassy, yeah.
That's fine, right? We get to know all of their spies.
How many spies?
Well, we know who they are, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Okay.
That is all that for the embassy. That is all we are giving you, says the queen.
That we know who your spies are. All of
you're
them.
muted.
Oh, fuck.
Your mouth was moving. Maybe you were just flapping your mouth and not making words. That's another possibility, because
I was scared that I was muted. I thought I'd unmuted myself. Who
Who
knows? We'll find out really quick when I re-say everything I just said, just to be sure. So we have an embassy, right? But now we know all of their spies. All of them. Whoever they are. They can have them, but we'll know who they are. Specifically us, not everyone. Which means we know who they're spying on.
are you intentionally not mentioning that they're discrediting Walker's political rivals and the Berry Brambles? That was the other thing.
Yeah, that's true. Also, they'll discredit our rivals politically, so that they can through the Berry Brambles. The Berry Brambles are going to dislike our rivals, rather than. You okay with that, Finn?
Am I in the room?
Yes, all of you are there.
Are you discrediting the Berry Brambles? You discrediting the Berry Brambles, my father.
I'm making your dad
this ain't
mad at
reaching
them.
all the way to the rolling hills.
No, I'm just making your dad mad.
Yeah,
Make your dad
fuck 'em.
dislike him.
Fuck him.
Yeah, that's right.
Wonderful. And what is the last deal?
Last deal is probably that which is most favorable unto you, most royal queen. I bend down and bow, and as I extend my right arm, you see there's a very long scar.
Yeah. Great, and she'll
But the
know
scar
that.
is already covered with red dragon scales.
Mm-hmm.
And
all of you see her smile a little bit, sort of in the manner of Denethor and Pippin, right?
Oh, she doesn't have cherry tomatoes, does she?
No. But she appreciates everything you're doing, and she respects it. But she also thinks you're adorable.
Well, all right. So once I finish bowing, I reach back up and I say that our states will be allied as military forces together. The two armies, that of Tekatwaddle and you, will uproot the remainders of the Green Dragon Empire. The first citadel, which we sack and liberate, will be given as a gift from our president, Summer, unto you. However, we have a binding contract between myself, first mate and lead general, I assume, and your general, captain of the Skull Crushers, to finish our campaign and destroy the green dragons, which I think is best for everyone, and something you would most likely be inclined to do, but just a little bit of insurance.
I will first see if these terms are favorable to your presumptive president.
Thank you so much for asking me about these things. All of my delegates, I guess, have made very interesting deals on my behalf, and I thank every single one of them. Is it my queen? Is it our queen? What should I call you? Miss Royal?
Queen is sufficient.
Yes, queen. There is one deal that I would prefer you not to honor, and I am so sorry, Euclid. But I would prefer if you did not disenfranchise, what is it? Something the Beret Vandals.
Well, they're not
Besmirch.
Yes, besmirch.
No, we're not besmirching them. Sorry, my lord, my king, we're not besmirching them. Hold on, make sure I'm not unmuted. Sorry. God damn it. Wow. I'm not. Great. No, we're not besmirching them. We're just turning them against your rivals.
And that is why I do not want to become president because of the secret dealings or subterfuge. The people have got to want me, and if the people want something else, then that is what the people want.
But you don't know who's working with the Berry Brambles already. Who are already, like, besmirching your name, like, with underhanded dealings?
I'm going to say something that someone taught me a long time ago. If somebody has something bad to say about me, that has none of my business.
What? Alright.
Well, perhaps we do something that is the opposite of that, says the queen. What if we were to use our connections inside the Barry Bramble crime family to reveal how and in what way they are working with your enemy, so that what you're revealing is purely honest. And what's more, we will provide you the intelligence on the Barry Bramble crime family in such a way that you can do with them what you will.
Well, to that I would say, it sounds like you're considering our deal.
I am looking for what works inside each of them, for I have another amendment.
And what is that?
The halflings deal. I want the treasure barge of the Gustava to be our new Yonti city. It is built out of an old Yonti temple that they repurposed, and I want it back. Much of the treasure inside it is also stolen Yonti goods, and I want that too. If that is amenable, then I accept all the rest of the deals.
If we are going to be allies, and we are going to be allies, then a certain amount of trust has got to be placed in both of our hands. And so, wait, do you still have to honor that deal? Like, are you gonna die?
Yeah. So the wording of the contract, and I pull it up. We don't name the first city that we sack, only that the first city sacked is a gift unto the Yuan-Ti, so we could just make that the first one, and that's
what I am asking.
Yeah, that keeps the contract binding.
Aware of the contents of that document. You don't know how she is, but she is.
Yeah.
I am asking that the specific first place be the Cassava treasure barge.
I do want to clarify, because Finn is like being more aware of himself than usual, that he was saying that exclusively to Summer.
Okay.
He was not presuming to inform the queen.
It's a very conversation. All right. I have made my decision. Shantae, we stay in this great city of yours. I accept your deal.
You will indeed spend the night, and we shall send a delegation with you to travel back to your city so that you can reveal this to your populace. Hopefully they will be able to get over their prejudices and see how much we have to offer each other.
I love it. Working for a better tomorrow. Today. Delicious. Speaking of delicious, I am assuming that we will be having some sort of like feast to commemorate or some things, probably in the center the dining hall in the center, I assume.
She stands up and says, "We shall still have our secrets from each other, of course. No one enters the grove."
Secrets are no fun unless they are worth risking your life for, and I appreciate that as well. All right.
Great. A huge feast is had, and you begin to journey back, which is where we'll pick up next week on your journey back to Portugal. Thank you for joining us in our adventures in Yonti Land.
Hi guys, it's me, Carter, or Finnegan, or Editor. Whatever you want to call me. First off, I want to thank you on behalf of the whole DDnD team. It means a lot to us that you're watching our content on YouTube. It's super cool. So please be sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell and all the other YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do. Second off, I do want to say, if you enjoyed this episode and you found yourself being like, oh man, that was cool, but I sure wish I could have been a part of that conversation and helped decide where the party should go, you can. You can watch us for free on Twitch every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We are simultaneously on the twitch.tv/Dice Drinks and Drama channel and the twitch.tv/DND channel. Wizards of the Coast is hosting us. It's awesome. So those links are down below, along with a whole bunch of other cool stuff that everyone on the team is making. Vic's got a module. Devren's got a podcast. I may have something eventually, and I'll put it down here, along with our Patreon. It's super cool. There's a couple tiers, lots of exclusive content, and yeah. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.